Hello everyone, it's Deb of Deb Loves Jewelry. Welcome back to my channel. It is time to open up one of the SoftFlex mystery design kits again. I look forward to this every time I receive one. This is just an opportunity for me to play and have a great time. This one's called Beltane Festival, and the Beltane Festival is a festival that is Gaelic and happens to mark the beginning of summer, and it happens typically around May 1st. And the packaging of this design kit, of course, goes along with that perfectly. I love the ribbon. I love the paper. I almost don't want to open it up because it's so pretty, but look at the contents. Oh my gosh. The colors, the shapes, everything in this kit is so inspiring and so much fun. We've got bone colored SoftFlex, and I love these two strands. Those are my favorites. And here's a bunch of little fun extra beads, and the Jesse James beads mix this month is so colorful and divine. These beads, big, chunky, really unusual shapes, really beautiful colors, perfect for Beltane Festival. We've got some gold crimps and findings and some cute little bow charms. I love everything about this kit. So, oh my gosh, I just look at the colors. They're just absolutely fun, and there's lots of flowers and fun things to work with. So I'm super inspired to just create, and that's what this kit always does for me. So I'm pulling out these 2-hole beads. I'm obsessed with 2-hole beads right now. So I'm thinking I'm going to do something with those and the yellow little fire polish beads. So I've got a bunch of things on my mat here, and I'm going to start with creating these little fun components. So I'm taking 26 gauge wire and I'm stringing on a yellow bead, and then I'm pushing up both ends of my bead, my wire, so that it captures that bead. And then I'm going to take the 2-hole bead and slide it onto the wire so that the little yellow bead is kind of hanging below that 2-hole bead. I love this red and yellow together. It is perfect for a festival to celebrate the beginning of summer. I'm taking my chain nose pliers and I'm just bending over one of the wires. Actually, you can just pull it with your finger. And then I'm going to create a very small wire wrap loop. So I'm using the very tip of my round nose pliers, and I'm creating a loop and very carefully wrapping around and just doing about 3 wraps to get that bead secured on one side. There it is, and then trimming off that extra and using my chain nose to tuck in the end of my wire. Then I've got to do the same thing on the other side and get another little loop. So you've got 2 loops, 2 small loops coming out of your 2-hole bead. I made 5 of those. I'm just gonna make one more so you could see pieces of it, but that's what I've got. And then we're going to use the SoftFlex bone, and I'm adding some 11O seed beads in kind of a silver. This is going to be a mixed metal design, but it's kind of like an antique silver. And all I'm doing is choosing some beads, stringing them onto the wire in a pattern. I might change this later, you'll see. But I'm trying to utilize all of the colors. Then I'm going to string on one of those little components on one side, add 2 seed beads, and then go through the other loop. So you've got 2 little seed beads filling up the wire, but you don't need to add seed beads if you don't like that look. That's a design preference for me, but I just love the look of all of these colors and these little components dangling down. So much fun. So you just have to be careful when you're stringing on the second hole, because you'll have to hold on to those beads and make sure that they don't come off the wire. I love how that looks. So much fun. So I'm using those big cube beads in between them. I think the square of the 2-hole bead and the cube look really cool adjacent to each other. And then we're adding some additional color by some of the other beads on either side of that focal section of the bracelet. But there's so many beads to choose from in this kit. You can really string this on using all reds or all yellows or all blues or just 2 colors, whatever tickles your fancy here, because it really is a wonderful, robust kit with lots of fun pieces and parts. So I'm probably going to take that orange bead or orange-ish bead off the end. So I'm going to put on a bead stopper at that end, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut my wire from the spool. I've been working from the spool, and I'm going to take off the last 2 beads, the yellow and that orangish bead at the end. And I'm going to replace it with another one of those blue beads. I tried the yellow, I tried a couple of other things, but what I'm looking for at the end is a bead that I can get the wire back through. And this is how it looks on the wrist. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love the little dangles can move around. It just adds some fun dimension. So here's that second blue bead I added at the end, and then I made the adjustment at the other side of the bracelet. And all I'm going to do here is just create a loop of the wire going through my crimp tube. And that's going to be where I attach the lobster claw. And the lobster claw that came in the kit is gold, so I'm going to use that one on the other side and just, go with that mixed metal combination here. You've got a little gold on some of those yellow beads, which is really fun. So this really does go together in kind of a mixed metal vibe. So here I am adding on the lobster and giving plenty of room for that lobster to move around, kind of making sure my 2 loops are the same size and just getting that crimp nice and tight. So we've got everything held together. And wow, I truly love this bracelet. This is a joyful, happy celebration bracelet. Love, love, love it. Okay, so then I just went crazy making earrings, and I went so crazy that I didn't film the first pair that I made. But I just started pulling beads out and putting things together and thinking about florals and making kind of a stacked flower look. So this is kind of a flower pot earring, using one of the teardrops, using one of those lucite flowers, and a couple of, I used a spacer and a bead cap, and then I took that rhinestone bead and put it at the top. So this looks like a flower that's coming out of a flower pot. I did use ball end head pins for all of my earrings, thinking that that little accent at the bottom would just add to the fun that that you can have with this kind of a design. So I'm just having a blast creating earrings. That's again what I love to do when I get one of these kits. Just sit down with everything and create. The blue bead, the large round, is a gemstone, and then that bottom bead is a yellow, interesting cut crystal. So pretty. And then again, I used bead caps and some of the metal components and just created a fun sort of floral looking earring. Now these are fun. These almost look like bows. I always seem to come up with bow designs with anything from SoftFlex, but I've got that yellow bead with the gold on it, and I'm adding those sheriff stars and then a flower, a bellflower on either side. So much fun. So I've got a bunch of fun little earrings that I've got available to me now for the summer, the rest of spring and summer. I'm just having a blast making these. So I've got 4 pairs of earrings. The first pair used a lot of the flower pieces. You're going to get a pair of gold ear wires, and so I used those for my earring, and I'm just interchanging them to see how each one of them looks on that gold ear wire, and just securing them with chain nose pliers. So cute, so pretty. I love all of them. Check out the SoftFlex mystery design kits at softflexcompany.com. I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much.